ServiceNow is a very easy to use application. As you will see in the next video, there'll be very few steps that are required for creating an incident, requesting something, take a survey, as well as finding out the status for your incident or request. So the first step is just to get us to the correct site. Keep in mind that this is just the URL link for the UAT box. For production, we'll have a different URL available, but other than that, the steps will be the exact same ones. We click here. So what you're presented here is with ITIL dashboard. This is the information that the managers will get to see when they first log in into ServiceNow. But what we'll start with, it's with the end user view, which at this point it's the service page portal. And this is what most users will see when they click on the link. It'll take a few, we'll delete that. So the first thing that we want to do is report a new issue. So when we do that, we click in here and you'll be opening up a form. The form has very few required fields, and those are denoted with the red asterisks. So in this case, location is not required, but I'm going to go ahead and select that anyways. Access, contact number. Something like that, right? Then what we want to do is just make sure if we have some sort of attachments, we can include that, or we can leave that for a follow-up step. So what we want to go ahead and right now is then click submit, and you'll see a sign flashing through the top that indicates that the ticket has been created. And then we are presented with a follow-up page which asks us for additional information, right? So for example, category, we want to know if this is an application error or it's a hardware, software, network, different categorizations. So I will say for this, it's application. Then subcategory, let's see what's presented here. And we'll just select anything. Okay, so everything else seems to have been populated. The created and the due date at this point are just about the same. There's a slight difference, but if you need a resolution by a certain date, you can go ahead and select the date in the future here. Let's just do something like so. Let's see if this. As you can see, the workflow starts appearing at the bottom, and then you can go ahead and click save. And the page still appear, right? Some people might get confused and think that the ticket has not been created or has not been saved, but this is a live screen, if you will, so you can keep adding information to it, keep saving or keep posting notes, and it will automatic, well, not automatically, but it will keep updating the information. So in order to completely leave this, then you want to click back to home. But in this case, what I want to do is maybe put additional information in the activity, such as this issue started about a month ago after upgrading to a new version of software, something like that. And I can go ahead and post that, and that will appear in the workflow as well. Okay, so at this point, let's just go ahead and go back home. Once the service desk requests information, additional information from you, you will be notified via email, as well as when you land on this page, you will have a notification on the top part of the screen, as well as a number counter in the needs your attention. This will be your indication that the service desk or somebody is requesting additional information, such as maybe a screenshot or more detail for them to be able to complete their work. Right. So at this point, let's see if we can track this. Right. So let's go back to my incidents, and this will be the list of incidents that I have created. As you can see, I've been playing with this for a little while, so let's take a look at the one that we just opened. Let's click on that, and it gives me all the information, so I'm able to go back to the same information that I had before, right? So if we go back to this, so now that we have the ticket created, let's take a look to see how it looks like from the service desk side. For that, I'm going to change users. So right now I'm Sam Chambers, so we're going to change that to somebody from the major incident group. Leave, you can select Ruchika. And we'll take a look at the incidents that have been created. Right now, it's filtering on her incidents. We're going to change that. And let's see if we can find that ticket. There we go. Really? There we go. So take a look at the detail. All the detail appears. And here I had actually tried this before. So I put a comment. So I'm going to make that comment again. I'll go ahead and post that. And I'm going to go ahead and assign it to Ruchika. Okay. So now that has been updated in the activities log. And let's take a look to see how that looks like on my end. Okay. And you can see all the detail has been kept for the progression of the ticket and the status of it. So at this point, this is how you create a ticket. Very simple, straightforward. The part that I probably spent most of the time on was on the service desk side of it, with making updates and assigning tickets. But for the end user, this interface would be very straightforward, very easy for them to use. Thank you. We'll go ahead and cover creating a request next, and then after that we'll do the take a survey. So now that we have created the request, let's find out where it sits. So in this case, I'm going to go to my requests, pick 764, should be this one. It's the one for the keyboard. So I'm going to look here in my requests. So it should be this in the category. Uh, 1164, that's the one. Now, right now, the request is sitting with Alejandro Arias, right? So if we go back and impersonate Alejandro Arias, okay, I got him here. Let's see what shows up for his approvals. So let's go to the portal. See my approvals. Now you see that there's one approval pending. So I can go ahead and click here. And then this was requested by Sam Chambers. And guy needs a keyboard. So I'm just going to go ahead and approve it. Okay. So now if I go back to my, let's see if okay. So now I'm looking at my requests. And 1764. If we scroll down, now you see that a minute ago Alejandro Arias went ahead and approved the request. So now I can continue through the workflow all the way through fulfillment. And that is pretty much the way that requesting something will work. I think that we still need to enable the notifications on top. You saw the notification for the approver, but I have not seen that work yet for the requester. So it's something that I'm sure that the technical folks are working on and will get solved before going live. So that concludes the request something navigation.